Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Sorry, MUFC Daily is a little bit late. How are you all doing? Where are you watching this from? As always, Sam here live. Well, it's supposed to be 10:30. Today, 10:34. So sorry, we're a little tiny bit late. But as always, it's here with the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. Going into the January transfer window, Man United are going to get linked with a lot of players. And one player we were heavily linked with in the summer was Antoine Griezmann. Now, the Atletico Madrid striker ended up staying at Atletico because of that transfer ban that stopped him leaving the club, because he said he was morally obligated to stay at his club. But we're being linked with him heavily again this summer, but we're not the only club. So what I want to run through today is a story that's coming from Miguel Delaney and The Independent. He is saying that Manchester United fear Antoine Griezmann will move to Barcelona over Old Trafford next summer. Goes on to say that senior figures at Atletico Madrid and Manchester United now believe that Antoine Griezmann will go to Barcelona this summer in a mega money deal. Now, Barcelona, they tried to sign Phil Coutinho in the summer after selling Neymar to PSG. So they've obviously got money. They are flush. And they need someone to replace Neymar in terms of their attacking options. Could that be Antoine Griezmann? Could Arda Turan follow in the footsteps and go to Barcelona? Will Atletico Madrid strengthen a rival like Barcelona with someone like Griezmann? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Whether you think that Griezmann would join Barcelona after saying that he's morally obligated to stay at Atletico Madrid. Would he then join Barcelona, a direct rival? I'm not sure. Let's read through a few of the comments. We've got Nathan George watching from India, like true United fan as well. Good morning to you both. Vidir watching from Mauritius. Nicholas Myers, good morning to you as always, watching from Barcelona. Akshar watching from South Africa, and Craig Williams watching from Jamaica, and Barras watching from Brunei. Thank you all for your comments. Now, Antoine Griezmann has not had the best of seasons so far. In 21 total appearances, including 3 friendlies, he's got 7 goals and 5 assists. By his standards, quite poor. And it hasn't really been until the last few games that he's hit goal-scoring form. It was that overhead kick against Roma in the Champions League. I think he hadn't scored in like 6, 7, kind of going on a run like Lukaku. But then he scored 2 in the next game against Levante, scored the next game as well against Real Sociedad, and played a key role in Chelsea's 1-1 draw with Atletico Madrid at Stamford Bridge. But he's not been on red-hot form this season in comparison to how he was. If you have a look at how he was in the Euro 2016 and the season he had after that, to the season he's having now, he's not having the best of seasons, but this is still Antoine Griezmann. We were so heavily linked with him in the summer. I considered it not a done deal, but I just felt, look, I'd be very surprised now if Griezmann didn't join. Lo and behold, their transfer ban was upheld. He didn't leave. I think 100% if Atletico Madrid didn't have that transfer ban, then Griezmann would already be playing in the United shirt. But he isn't. And now that Barcelona have got money and they want to sign somebody of that ilk, would they come in and try and sign him? They're flying high at the moment in La Liga. Real Madrid have fallen off. Atletico Madrid have fallen off a little bit as well. Barcelona have got Chelsea in the Champions League. Let's see what goes on there. But Barca seem to have coped well with the absence of Neymar. PSG in stunning form as always. But let's see what goes on with Griezmann in the summer. As true United fan says, form is temporary, class is permanent. And Nicholas Meyer saying that Griezmann is a bargain at 100 million, which is his buyout clause, remember. When you look at comparative player prices such as Neymar, everyone will be wanting him. It depends on his contract terms. It also depends on what Jose Mourinho wants. I think we can all admit, looking at Manchester United's team, the biggest weakness we've got is when Pogba's not there, the creative output from a deeper midfield position doesn't exist. Mkhitaryan's not doing it. Lingard is not that type of number 10 when he plays there. He's more of a runner off the ball, creating space, bringing others into play, and a good finisher in recent games. But someone like Antoine Griezmann would create from deep. He'd be a proper number 10. And of course, he can play number 9 out on the left-hand side and out on the right-hand side as well. But it all depends. I feel it all depends on whether Barcelona go back in for Phil Coutinho. They offered, what, 130 million quid in the summer, last summer? Liverpool rejected that, unbelievably. Yes, he's doing very well for Liverpool this season, but I think they've shown with Mane, Salah and Firmino that Liverpool can cope without Coutinho. They can move forward with 130 fucking million and they can sign 2 world-class players to boost their squad. I think, for me, it's a given that Coutinho leaves, but would Barcelona go back in? let's see what happens in the summer. We've got Oscar Danberg saying United do not sign Griezmann. Well, that's an interesting thing. Let me know in the comments now, type yes or type no. Do you actually want Man United to go back in for Antoine Griezmann in the summer? Or in January, maybe. It's not going to happen in January. But do you want us to go back after him? Or do you think that we should move on to other players like Mesut Ozil, who's available on the free transfer? Paulo Dybala, we've talked about him as well. A great player for Juventus. He would certainly cost more than 100 million. We've got David Ojawumi saying, I think we should try signing Milinkovic-Savic in January. He could be an alternative to Pogba, but he costs £80 million. We've got Blind Frog saying Griezmann doesn't really need Pogba. He can create chances on his own or from wingers. And that's been the biggest issue this season, is when Pogba's not been there, Man United have struggled to create opportunities. Someone like Griezmann could come in and certainly change that from a number 10 perspective. You can just get Matic to get the ball up to Griezmann. He would then be able to turn face and then feed the wingers, feed the number 9. It's not something that Mata's been able to do to any great effect this year. Consistently anyway, he's had good performances here and there. Mkhitaryan was fantastic at the start of the year, but massively fallen off. Mkhitaryan doesn't look like he can do it either. Reading the comments here, we've got Mustafa Barra and Jerry Law both saying no, we don't want Griezmann, but Shahid and Harry Tyson both saying yes, as is Nicholas Myers. Barras Pooney suggesting Thomas Lemar, the Monaco winger that was supposedly on his way to Arsenal until that whole palaver turned around. He then didn't join Arsenal and he's still at Monaco, but Monaco are struggling this year, so they're really going to struggle to hold on to him. But he's more of a left winger rather than a number 10. Someone like Griezmann, more naturally suited to that number 10 position. Got Coruscope Play saying, no surprise there, we need more top-class players at our club before we can even attract them now. I don't think attracting players has ever been a problem for United. Even when we were out the Champions League, we still signed top-draw players. And we've got Mourinho in now, we've got Pogba in, we've got Ibrahimovic in, we've got class players throughout. Surely we could certainly boost the squad by bringing in some more top-draw players, but I wouldn't say that Man United's squad is weak by any stretch of the imagination. And we've got Coruscope Plays commenting again, saying Dybala over Griezmann all day long. And Nithin talking about Mesut Ozil. Got Abdi Ali mentioning Goretzka as well as a perfect backup. A brilliant young player, young, 6 foot, very good on the ball, great passer who drives forward. I'll be honest, I haven't watched enough of Goretzka. Maybe I should have a look into him. We've got Sam H saying Griezmann didn't want to betray Atletico, so he didn't join United. Is he likely to go to a direct rival and screw Atletico over doubly 12 months later? And I think that's a very key point you raised there, Sam. Clearly, Griezmann's got a very strong moral compass. Otherwise, he would have just left Atletico in the summer, taken the big wage increase, just said, look, sorry, you got a transfer ban, but I need the money. But he didn't. He stayed at the club. I imagine if offers come in from Barcelona and other teams, those other teams will probably be favoured more than Barcelona because they're not direct rivals. That's the way I see it anyway. We've got Blind Frog saying that Man United need another central attacking midfielder. I think well, clearly we do. Mata, Mkhitaryan, Lingard, whoever plays there, it's not been a position where anybody's held it down with any great consistency. Mkhitaryan at the start of the year, but that's faded away. If you're going to be competing for the Premier League and the Champions League, you cannot have players that fade away for months. You need players that maybe drop in and out for a game or two, but then come back stronger. Mkhitaryan's not done that enough. Mata hasn't done that enough, mainly because Mata hasn't been played there enough, but Mata's just not working now at the moment properly under this Mourinho system. Did in the first year, doesn't seem to be this year. Not, I'm saying Mata's not working hard enough. I just don't think it's working with Mata in the team. Got Thuya Saul from Singapore, good morning to you, saying honestly would not want Griezmann because United have a lot of wingers. I would consider Griezmann more of a central player who can operate as on the wings rather than a winger who can operate centrally. So yes, he's versatile and he can play on the wings, but he's mainly a central player. I mean, if Barcelona really are going to go in for Griezmann this summer, then Man United have got a battle on our hands. Barcelona are Barcelona. Still one of, if not the biggest team in the world. Still got Lionel Messi, just signed into a new contract. They've got a lot of money to spend after selling Neymar. And if they do want Griezmann, they will go big after him. And as we know, he's got a release clause. Release clauses are a little bit complicated in Spain because you've basically got to pay. It's like when we signed Ander Herrera from Athletic Bilbao. You've got to pay the money to the player. He's then got to pay it to the Spanish tax authorities himself. It's a weird one. It's a really weird release clause system. But if Barca go back in for him, who do you think Griezmann would choose? If there was an offer, exact same offer from Man United and Barca, who do you think that Griezmann would choose to join? Let me know in the comments and keep that debate going. Join us tomorrow for MUFC Daily. Join us later on tonight for the live match reaction after the Bournemouth game. Hopefully we can win and just put that City game to one side. But until then, take it easy.